going to look at absolute value equations, all right? At least start the conversation. So absolute value equations, kind of the way it goes is sometimes they can have one solution, sometimes they can have no solution, and other times they can have two solutions. But most of the time they have two solutions anyway. So let's look at this purple one here for a second. The absolute value of 2x plus 5 is equal to -1. Now, if I ask you, what the absolute value of 2 is, well, that would be 2, because the number 2 has a distance from 0 of 2. The same for, -2. The absolute value of -2 would be 2, because this number on the number line has a distance away from 0 of 2 units, right? That's what the absolute value is. It's asking how far something is from 0. Well, here in this problem, it's saying that the distance from 0 is -1. The distance of 2x plus 5 from 0 is -1. Well, that is just ludicrous. So you can't have a negative distance, and so immediately, right out of the gate, we know that this problem has no solution. All right. So anytime you get the absolute value of something like this is equal to a negative, you automatically know that there are no solutions to that. All right. The next way that an equation could look is like this, where the absolute value of something is equal to 0. So the above had no solutions at all. This one is going to have one solution. All right. The only way for something to have a distance, there's only one way. There's only one way for something to have a distance from 0 of 0. Anyway, if we're looking at this equation, we can just go ahead and drop the absolute value bars. Just rewrite it as 2x plus 5 equals 0. And this is the only equation that we have to solve. We'll subtract 5 from both sides. We'll get 2x equals -5. And then we will divide both sides by 2. And then we'll have our answer. It'll be x equals -5 over 2. All right, so this has exactly one solution. All right, here's where we were going. This is what happens most of the time. If you have some absolute value equaling a positive number, whether it's 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever, you'll have to break that problem into two cases. All right, what this says is that it says that 2x plus 5 has a distance away from 0 of 1, and it's wanting us to find out what x is. All right, so if we pretend we had our number line here, well, in order to have a distance away from 0 of 1, well, it could be two options here. It could be, a distance away from 0 this direction, or it could be a distance away from 0 in the negative direction. And that's what we do with these. We break these problems into two cases. We break them up into the positive case, where all of this stuff inside equals +1. And then we also break it up into the second case. All this stuff inside could also equal -1. All right? If you took the absolute value of this stuff, if it turned out to be -1, and then you took the absolute value of it, it would still give you +1. So either one of these would work. All right? And so we just solved both cases. Now this one we solved a moment ago. Actually, no, we didn't. We almost solved it. It was the similar case. My bad. All right, I thought we solved the exact equation. All right, so if we're solving this, we'll subtract 5 from both sides. That'll give us 2x equals -4. And then we'll divide by 2. And that'll give us x equals -2. All right, in this situation, we'll do the same steps. We'll subtract by 5. That'll give us 2x equals -6. And we'll divide by 2. All right, this will give us x equals -3. All right, so these are our two solutions for that equation, and both of them will work. If you plug in -2 for x, right here, you'll get 2 times negative 2, which is negative 4, and then negative 4 plus 5 will give us positive 1. And that works because the absolute value of positive 1 is equal to 1. If you choose to put negative 3, it will also work. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6, and negative 6 plus 5 is negative 1. And when you take the absolute value of that, you get positive 1, which is what we were looking for. All right? So if the absolute value is equal to a negative thing, all right, if you've got the absolute value by itself and it says that it equals something negative, that's no solutions. If it equals 0, you will have only one solution. And if the absolute value is equal to some positive number, you'll always have two solutions.